Hello and thanks for staying with us. Welcome to Political Platform on Raypower FM. My name is Amechi Anakwe. Well, it is Easter Monday, a day just after the main Easter. This is a public holiday after Easter Sunday, and so it is called Easter Monday. But as you're on holiday, the polity has been active from killings across especially some parts of northern Nigeria, to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to the United States, where indeed so much is happening. I was just thinking this morning, during this period last election, it was a large presidential election. It was Chatham House in London. Yeah. Now it's US lobby firms. We are told by the Nigerian government that IPOP members have engaged lobbyists in US and the ones influencing US government to take actions and policies on Nigeria. Not long after that, the Nigerian government also indeed engaged lobbyists, and the last is Atiku Abubakar has also engaged lobbyists. Who's next? You know, the man at the Oval Office, White House, what he tells him is what he thinks about when he's taking decision. But the killings across Nigeria is one that is normal now. It's been normalized. They come just as numbers, and it appears we have lost the capacity to stop the killings. Few times perpetrators are arrested. Most times they are not arrested. What we have also lost is the empathy, that human feeling in us. We have just also lost it to the extent that numbers is now down as psyche that when you read it, you quickly don't even care to open for some people. You look for another controversial headline. Elsewhere, when 3 persons are killed, it remains on the front burner for weeks, days, till perpetrators are caught and brought to justice. I have my colleagues here. Mustafa, welcome after a long time. Chooks is here.
Thank you.
And we're expecting TVTF to join us. Killings as normal. Numbers were recorded.
Very unfortunately. You know, coming from Borno State, where the killings have been there for almost 2 decades now, the Boko Haram, and which also affected some northeastern state. It's also very sad that for a very long time, the recurrent killing in Zamfara, then these places like Plateau, Kaduna, Katsina, Benue State have actually virtually became a killing field that continue to occur. Several government promises redeployment of massive troops, but yet after a little calm we call it a quiet storm, these killings will continue to rear itself. And then there are so many reasons for such killings. If you are trying to dig what are the causes, for a very long time, there have been ethnic killings in Plateau, in Benue, in parts of Kaduna. One of the very issues that people don't want to talk about is the issue of who is a settler, who is an indigent. While under the Nigerian constitution, everybody has right to move to wherever he wants to move and settle in wherever place he wants to settle. You also have this issue of harder farmer crisis. They have led to several continual killing. You also have this issue of criminals that are kidnapping, abducting, raping. You also have the issues of religious crisis. But most times when, especially in Benue Plateau and Southern Kaduna, if three of the other crises I mentioned initially happened, they try to turn it into religious crisis. Look at the unfortunate incident that just happened in Plateau, in Jos, in Bukoba, which forced the president to visit Plateau just briefly. Those people who came to carry out the killings killed both Muslims and Christians. Those killers are both enemies of Muslims and Christians. They are both enemies of every other tribe and every other resident in Plateau. But unfortunately, they turned against themselves. They started killing each other. And where does that take you? But back to the government. The president promised that they are going to install cameras, CCTV cameras, about 5. But does that solve
AI-enabled cameras?
Okay, does that solve the problem? In each of these issues that I mentioned, Amechi and Akwe, we in conflict management of resolution, we need to go deep into the anger of the people, the cause of this problem, why is it so persistent? I was on the 3rd day of Salah, we traveled to Zamfara by road. You can see the fear in all of us despite the escorts we had. And coming back from Gusau, along the stretch between Funtua and Gusau, it's 2 or 2.5 hours.
That's the most dangerous part.
We would have been abducted any other thing. But how big is Gusau, the Zamfara State Forest, Kebbi, Sokoto, or even Sambisa? But know that we cannot invade this forest, uproot these people, and then the killing and the crisis will continue. People are there. And the powerful people will see them with saris being escorted with armed officials. What about people like me and you who cannot?
Okay. Bio from YouTube page is saying, yes, indeed. The Nigerian military troops also killed several dissidents in the past 1 week. Yeah, correct. You're quite right. And he said we must also reflect such. You're quite right. Even a son of one of the prominent bandit leaders was also killed. Hiki Ayotia says no such thing as farmers headers clashes and all that. But let's get your perspective, Chooks.
Yeah, good morning, Amici. Good morning, my colleagues and to our viewers as well on YouTube. It's a very sad one indeed that has happened once again. It happened not long ago, Palm Sunday. Now it's happened even after the president promised the people of Benue, that it won't happen.
No, he crazy Plateau people he promised.
Plateau, sorry.
It will happen again.
Yes. Now we've had killings in different parts. Sad thing about it, but my own question now is to the security operatives, because every time this holiday period, come. We always hear there are so and so thousand men on ground to guard every state to make sure that people have, an easy celebrations and are able to go about their business, free. So what happens to those thousands of men that we're always hearing that are on ground? Is it that they are not adequately equipped? They do not have the intelligence, when stuff like this happens. So there needs to be an answer from our security operators, because you cannot keep on telling us there are so thousands of people deployed every single time, and then we keep having this. It's very sad that we're here again. People should be celebrating with their families, their friends, and we are experiencing this in the country. Also, they said 31 people were also rescued, over the weekend from this incident, but it's not enough. we need to know why our security operatives are, is it overpowered or outmaneuvered or outsmarted by this individual?
For every citizen that was killed, a lot of questions on the part of security agencies and on the part of the government to answer. Our president, when he was in opposition, was holding President Goodluck Jonathan to account. And he says the buck stops at your table. And the same way we are telling him, the buck stops on your table. We acknowledge the efforts you have made by visiting. We acknowledge the efforts you have made. The Minister of Digital Economy talked about, he was the one that announced the AI thing, camera and all that. But these are superficial. They are incremental. They appear to be actions targeted at dealing with the symptoms. Mustafa said it here just a while ago. TVTF stressed on it the other day here. We know the underlying problems, but we lack the courage to look at the deep-rooted problem, uproot the problem. You don't cut off the branches. Over time, they'll grow up again. The promise the president made to the people of Plateau, he's putting his reputation at stake. Yeah. We hope he keeps to the promise and will help him keep the promise. But beyond being helpful and being patriotic, a lot of Nigerians will...
It's convoy, yes. And I was like, even the fire service does big man and everything.
They've never changed two of the road. The guy...
So I think he's from Kogi State. He went to Kogi for holidays, and if you see the triumphant entry, let me not blaspheme, but the reception, the way people turned out, the outriders, the security men, the intelligence men, walking down.
Flamboyance, right?
Yeah, the flamboyance he displayed tells you that this man, what is he said is not how to prevent fire in Nigeria. No. He's more interested in entertaining people using video skits, and the way they were capturing his men. You knew that is uppermost on his mind to let them know about right.
It's so sad. It's so sad. It's so sad, but that's where we found ourselves. We take action. I remember the president at some point said maybe ministers should not ride more than three vehicles in their convoy. They should not do this, they should not do that. And one human being is fire service